Welcome to Lunch Money. Coming up, it's a buyer's market, so how much are people getting off homes for sale? Can a pot for life help boost your pension? And stick around until the end if you want to know about an ISA trap that you need to watch out for. Hello, I'm Simon Lambert. Joining me on today's Lunch Money is This Is Money's Lee Boyce and Myron Jobson from the show sponsor Interactive Investor. Lee, a new report out today says home buyers are enjoying some of the best discounts that they have seen for years. What's going on in the property market?
Well, we've come off the back of a pandemic boom in which we saw house prices rise substantially over that couple of year period, and since then we've had the mini budget in September, which saw mortgage rates soar in September 2022, and that has kind of made the property market a little bit topsy-turvy. It's a bit of a localised market, it's different in different pockets of the country, but simply put, competition has waned, there's fewer buyers going after more listed homes, and for that reason they're becoming harder to sell. So the Zoopla research out today says the number of homes for sale is at a 6-year high. It's 34% higher than a year ago, the number of listed homes, and higher mortgage rates that I just mentioned there put some people off. But it has left some buyers in quite a powerful position if you've got a far smaller mortgage or you're a cash buyer. So there's lots of different moving parts at the moment in the property market.
So those higher mortgage rates mean people just can't pay the same amount for houses that they could do maybe 2 years ago when mortgage rates were much lower. Exactly. What are the discounts that people are getting off? How much are we talking about people getting off here?
Well, again, this Zoopla research is saying that 1 in 4 sales agreed 10% or more below asking price. So that's a substantial amount of money to be getting off of a home. Home sellers are typically accepting 5.5% off. That's £18,000 discount. That's up 3.4% from 3.4% in the first 6 months of the year. So it's gone up quite a bit. And in London and the South East, that's actually 25 grand. So typically people are getting £25,000 off of a home in London and the South East, just where competition has waned and there are far more houses up for sale.
And what are the tips for buyers who are trying to negotiate on a house? How can they try to get the best price when they're making that purchase?
I think first thing to do, really important, is to do your research. See how much homes are selling for in your local area. Set up alerts on certain websites that allow you to do that, to see what's happening for the property type that you might be after, whether it's a 4-bed detached home or it's a bungalow or it's a flat. Then you can get a kind of picture of what's going on and be in that position to say, hey, look, this property was up for sale for this, but they accepted this. This is what's happening in this part of the market right now. I think you've got to be confident, know what you want to offer, know what your maximum point is that you want to offer, and be kind of open and open that dialogue where I think we say about making a cheeky offer in this country, make a cheeky offer. You watch something like location, put a cheeky offer on. And I think that at the moment that is quite sound advice. We're talking about 1 in 4 homes, 10% off. If you've got your heart set on somewhere and you think you get 10, 15, even 20% off, there's no harm in asking. I think there is a line. You don't want to insult someone, but still it is worth doing a cheeky offer. And if you're a cash buyer, which a lot of people are, they're making up a bigger percentage of the market this year, you're in an incredibly strong position. People will love a cash buyer. There's less likelihood of hold-ups, chains, that kind of thing. So if you're a cash buyer, you're really strong.
We hear this term in the property market, motivated buyers and motivated sellers. It basically just translates into people who actually want to buy or sell a home rather than just sort of window shopping or sitting around.
Yeah.
Flipping it around to the sellers here, if you're selling your home and you know that this is going on, what can you do? Because if you really want to move and you really want to get it sold, the worst thing can be if you're not getting any offers in at all, can't it?
You want to make sure that you're pricing your home correctly. That's a massive trap. I think people, you know, they have a home and they think, I can get this amount for it. It might be talked to by an estate agent, or you might just simply think, I reckon it's worth this. Sometimes that could be a bit of stubborn mentality and it could do you long-term harm in terms of trying to offload a home. And actually you want to make sure you get a good agent, a good estate agent that knows the local market, you know, that are going to sell your home. You know, they're going to do all the hard work for you. So it's vital that you get the right estate agent. And you've got to make your home look as good as possible. It's got to be visually appealing. You know, where can people expand? Where can people put their stuff in? Don't make it too cluttered. All of that kind of thing can help sell a home, to make sure it's just looking like, if you walked in through the door of my home, what would make you want to come and live there and buy it? And by making it look as good as possible, I think people forget that sometimes. And even the photographs in estate agents' brochures, how many times have we looked through and seen someone who we're like, wow, I can't believe those have gone up. You know, but it's so important. And I think people sometimes busy think, can't be bothered with that. And it could be quite detrimental.
Thank you, Lee. Myron, last week's autumn statement brought the idea of the pension pot for life.
Yeah.
Now, we've been told that this could boost our pension savings over our lifetimes. What's the idea here?
So the idea is to get people more engaged with their pensions. Long gone are the days where people just have one job for life. That doesn't really happen anymore. Actually, I saw some statistics recently which suggest that people move jobs 11 times during their career. So with each job move might come a new pension pot. So the issue nowadays is that people lose track of these pension pots. They don't understand how they're invested, and a lot of the times the pension is not invested in a way that aligns to their risk profile. So that's a big issue.
And what happens to your old work pension when you move jobs? For people who are completely uninitiated in this.
Yeah, I mean, when you move jobs, your pension doesn't automatically come with you unless you specifically ask for your pension to be transferred over to like a SIP, for example. And so that's what people forget to do. So your pension doesn't automatically move when you move role.
And does that lead some people to worry that they might even have lost their pension?
Oh yeah, most certainly. I know family and friends who have a number of pensions. Actually, we did some research for, say, we Interactive Investor did some research on this a couple of years ago, and I think the average worker has around 5 pensions, and they don't know where most of them are and how most of them are invested, so it's a real issue.
So the pot for life is an idea whereby it will follow you along, so you'll always know. But that's not coming in yet, is it? It's going to take a while for this idea to come to fruition. So what can people who have moved jobs and have old pensions do now?
Track your pensions, and also you can also consolidate them. And so that's the issue. A lot of people just don't know what their pension is are doing. And so if you consolidate them in one place, you know exactly where they are. You can choose how that pension, your funds are invested. There often is a lot more choice. If you go through investment, I'll say Interactive Investor, obviously I work for Interactive Investor, but there is a lot more choice for you in terms of funds and shares and all the different things you can select, and you can make sure that your money is invested in a way that also aligns with your interests, and that might involve ESG investing, for example.
And in terms of people just generally investing into their pension and trying to get themselves the best possible pot for retirement, what would be your tips for pension saving in general?
I think it's really important to have a look at fees. We're flat fee platforms. That means if your investments grows, you only be charged that flat fee throughout, so you don't get penalised for growing your investment. So have a look at fees, have a look at choices, make sure that, again, your investments are aligned to your attitude to risk, and make sure you have a keen understanding of your time horizon. Yes, you can access your pension pot at 55, but you might want to keep it within, you might not want to withdraw that money for tax planning purposes, because for most people, a passing on pension doesn't incur an inheritance tax charge. So there are different important considerations. But most importantly, be engaged. Understand how your pension is being invested. It's so important.
One day you'll thank yourself for that.
I'm sure.
Thank you very much, Myron. Lee, finally, we've got a story today about a Sainsbury's bank cash ISA trap. You're not a fan of this. Tell us about it and why our viewers should watch out for this kind of thing.
This is a blend of a kind of story I love, Simon, the sort of story that gets me really hot under the collar. We're talking ISAs and we're talking about banks doing naughty things here. So Sainsbury's Bank has a variable rate cash ISA. We've written about this over the last few years. We've been really putting pressure on trying to change this rate. So at the moment, that rate is 4.91%. But depending on when you open that account, for older savers that opened it a long time ago, they could be getting as little as 1.45%. Now the difference on 20 grand on that is £692. Usually when you're in an easy access, a variable rate easy access, your rate goes up and down depending on what's going on in the market. So over the last year to the year and a half, rates have been nudging up. Sainsbury's Bank has boosted the rate on this cash ISA. But crucially, it doesn't automatically adjust the interest if it's going up. So lots of people are on that rate at the bottom thinking perhaps that their rate's going to be going up as these rates happen, but they don't. And you have to get in touch with Sainsbury's to initiate it.
And we've singled Sainsbury's out here,
Yeah.
but they're not the only bank doing this, are they?
There's not many that do it though. This is like the main big one, I would say. There's a couple of others that are out there. So if you're in a variable rate cash ISA or any kind of variable rate easy access, you should make sure that you're not in a different issue number where you haven't had that rate boosted up. And it's more important than ever before, just because of how much rates have been increasing. And I think what really gets my goat about this, Simon, is that Sainsbury's Bank will downgrade your ISA rate. It will automatically adjust your rate if the rate goes down, but it won't automatically put it up. And I think that that is really quite a sneaky trick to do, and most providers don't do that.
Okay, so 2 messages from today, from Myron, from Lee. Be engaged with your pension, be engaged with your savings.
Definitely.
Okay, and if you want to do that and find out the best savings rates, go to thisismoney.co.uk/save for our independent Best Buy tables. That's all for today's Lunch Money. Thank you for watching. You can watch more episodes at thisismoney.co.uk/lunchmoney or search for This Is Money on YouTube. And like all the best YouTubers, I'm going to tell you that if you're watching it there, like and subscribe. Don't forget to join us on the next show on Thursday. Goodbye.